Shalom, this is GMS Solid Sit Downs coming back with a lesson. First off and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Wakar Kadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect out there spreading this word, the sincerity, and the truth all over the four corners of the earth. God, this is going to be a verse of the day. Luke chapter 22. 28 on down, and some quick thoughts that went through my head this morning concerning battling Satan. Battling Satan while things are getting you out of balance. Like I always say, man, in this truth, it's constantly about being in balance. If you want to do your weekly things, I wanted to say daily things, but I already explained last camp that I look at it as a weekly thing, the whole week in, week out, man. At the end of the week, you should have observed the things that you did for Yahweh Shem Yahushai the past week, man. You should examine it, just check it out. Like, hey, did I do enough this week? What was going on? Was I being hindered by things, by carnal things, by worldly things? Did I put too much energy into worldly things, carnal things? Or was I continuously busy? Shy. What was I doing? Did I make my videos? Did I go into my studies? Did I answer brothers' questions? That's what you have to do, at the end of the week. Check it out. Examine it. And if you examine yourself daily, you don't even have to examine you at the end of yourself at the end of the week. Because then you're keeping up with it. But to have the whole package, I always say, like, at the end of the week, check out what you done did the past week, man, for Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. And understand that there's a balance also concerning that, because the scripture says in the book of Sirach, it just popped in my mind, so I'm not gonna, grab it right now. But roughly paraphrasing, it says, work on yourselves and give the Lord his sacrifice in due season. So in due season, you have to continuously give the Lord his sacrifice, man, while you're working on yourself, while you're bettering yourself, while you're stabilizing yourself. And the messed up thing is, if you are being influenced by people that are around you constantly, talking about brothers that have families and stuff like that, you have to, man. You have to adjust yourself constantly, and Satan might mess you up, man. But what we have to understand is that true temptations, people that endure true temptations are going to sit with Yahweh Shai on the table, man. And it's a spirit, because I was talking about this also last Saturday, about the table that the elect is going to sit on, eating with Yahweh Shai. It's going to be a long-ass table, but it's going to be there, man. Eating with Yahweh Shai, man. In the full wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. In newly created bodies. Designed for us. That can't get sick. So this is Luke chapter 22, verse 28. Ye are they which have continued with me in my temptations. And I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father had appointed unto me. Why is that? Because the elect is going to join heirs with Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is the heir of all things. Shayallah. He unto whom it belongs. Which is Shiloh in the Hebrew. So, like the scripture says, we will join heirs with Yahweh Shai, meaning we will get receive a part of what he is supposed to get. Verse 30, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Yeah, because in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, it says that the saints shall judge the world, man. They shall become judges of the world, man. And not judging in wickedness like Esau does, but judging in righteousness, you know. So if we go to verse 31, which is basically the point, it says, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. So Satan desired to have Simon, which is Peter. But Satan desires all of us, man. Satan desires all of us. If you go into the book of Acts, you can read about the people that wanted to exorcise the demons in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. But for them it was just a test to see if it would work. It didn't go by faith. So what these demons trying to do is so it didn't go by faith. So the demons spoke to them and said like, yo, we know Yahushua, we know Apostle Paul, but we don't know you. You know, and then they beat the shit out of them. You know, that they ran out of the house naked. Shows you that these demons, these entities, they know who's dealing with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They know the man of the Lord. So they're out there to get you. You know? They're out there to get you, man. And the other thing that shows you is that if you don't walk by faith, if you don't keep the faith, you will become an easy target, man. If you lack faith, these demons are able to beat you up. You know, but if you walk constantly in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, if you constantly have the faith, you know, that whatever situation you're in, you know, you will get through it through Yahushai, then nothing can faze you, man. Nothing can faze you. Because these people, they didn't walk in the spirit, they didn't walk in the faith of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. For them, it was just a test. So guess what? They got beat up by these entities, man. Peter, like, listen, Satan desires to have you, man. This is something you have to understand. This is something you have to realize. And that's also something we have to realize constantly, man. That whatever we do, however we walk, Satan is always trying to hinder us. Satan is always trying to bring us down, pull us down, make us go into folly ways that are unimportant, you know, and we need to be aware of that, man. You know, and you might make mistakes, you might mess up, but it's important that you get back up, man. It's important that you adjust and get yourself right again, you know. And sometimes it's kind of difficult to get right after a beating, man. Sometimes it's difficult to get right after getting messed up by Satan. But hey, we are appointed thereunto, man. So we just need to find the balance again, you know, and keep it moving, man. We are still on that tight rope. We are still walking on that tight rope. You might lose your balance and hang on the rope. But make sure you get yourself back up, man. Make sure you get yourself back up. And then when you get back up, get your balance back. And continue to walk on this tight rope. You know, which is the narrow path. And balance yourself out, man. It's constantly about balancing yourself out. If you read the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 7, I believe it's 7 or 8. Forgive me for not knowing it. I believe it's 7. It speaks about the kingdom being on a hill, and there's a narrow path. On the left side there's deep waters, and on the right there's fire. You know, so looking towards the fire and looking towards the deep water is gonna get you out of balance, man. If you have ever seen people that climb these high buildings and then start to take pictures with this how you call this thing, this this GoPro camera or something on a big stick, on a long stick, you be looking at that like, hey, you better watch out for your balance, man, because if you are not careful, man, you're gonna fall from that building, man. So we ain't supposed to pay attention to the deep. We supposed to pay attention to the road, man, the path that we walking, considering that Satan is on it, waiting for us to mess up, to misstep, But like I said, if you misstep and you slide, man, carry yourself back up, man. Actually, this reminds me of this military drill that I used to do. I was ordered to do, back in the military. You had to go over this road. You had to crawl over this road. Over this rope. You had to crawl over this rope, and then in the middle of the rope, above this deep water, you had to hang out. And then the corporals, they would tell you when you can climb back up on the rope. And it's spiritual actually that I'm messing up with the word rope and road, because it's the same thing, man. This is what I'm trying to go to. This rope represents the road that we walk on, man. This path. But I had to hang out on the rope, above the deep water. You had squids and shit there. Not squids, jellyfish and stuff like that. So you really didn't want to fall. So you had to hang out. And then the corporal would say, okay, climb back up. But after hanging out on a rope for such a long period of time, your arms has gotten weak. Your arms is sore. It's difficult to climb back up on the rope if you have been hanging for 4 or 5 minutes. So some people fell. And so some people climb back up on the rope and find back their balance and continue and finish that course. That's the same thing we have to do, man. We have to get back, find our balance, adjust our daily lives to the things that were added to it, or the things that departed from it, or the things that are like half in your life, messing you up constantly when something comes to pass concerning it. Adjust to it, man. Adjust to it and deal with it, man. And make sure that you are able to give the Lord the sacrifice in due time, man, which is sacrifices us ourselves, man. Constantly, putting our leisure, our free time into this truth. We have to do, man. And me saying it doesn't mean that I'm doing it 100% correctly, because I'm battling Satan too. That's just what it is. If I wasn't, I would be nervous, man. If I wasn't battling Satan, because like Yahushua said, if Satan be divided against Satan, how can his kingdom stand? So if demons would be fighting against demons, then what's the deal? So if I wouldn't get jacked up by demons, then you have to realize you probably are a demon, man. You probably are a demon yourself. So we are dealing with these entities, man. We are dealing with these spirits. They're trying to jack you up, mess you up constantly, and that's just a fact, man. That's just a fact, and we got to deal with it in our day-to-day lives, man. So it says, verse 31, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan desireth to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. You see, when thou art converted, when you got back to balance, when you adjusted yourself into the way of truth, again, being in balance on this tight rope, on this road, on this narrow path, strengthen your brothers, man. Make sure your brothers don't fall into the same temptation. Make sure your brothers know what you're dealing with when you walk in this truth. Make sure your brothers know, what lies ahead, man. Because this truth, has many ways to it, man, that are sometimes visible to the eye and the spiritual eye to see what's actually going on, man. So with that, I'm going to say, Call Allah, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshai, Bashem, Akakadash, Shalom to the elect.